Welcome to Outlaw Woodworking. Today we're going to build a materials rack for hardwoods. And recently I'm preparing for winter. And I want to bring in a bunch of different woods. I want to bring in some walnuts and some maple and some oak. Maybe get some purple heartwood so that I can make cutting boards and different craft projects this winter. Anyway, today we're going to build this rack, and let me show you how I did it. The first thing I did was measure and see how many pieces I was going to put on here. I wanted to have that little corner in the back for live edge, so I'm just going to do three vertical supports, and that should allow me to stack a lot of 8-foot pieces. The first thing I do is I go buy some 1-inch square tubing, 1/8 inch thick, and I cut them to my ceiling height, which was 90.5. I cut 3 of these pieces. I'm using an Evolution chop saw, and I'm really happy with that chop saw. It doesn't shoot out. It keeps all the mess right there, which is really nice. Anyway, I chopped 3 pieces, 90.5, and then I figured out that I only want to have these things come off the wall about 10 inches so that I don't really interfere with my hallway too much. So I cut, and I'm going to put five different supports on each one. So I'll have 5 different kinds of wood on this rack. So I cut 15 pieces at 10 inches, and that should allow me quite a bit of wood stock for this winter. Once I get all these cut, I think I have 5 more to do actually. This is a really nice chop saw, and the stand actually is really nice too. Been really happy with it. Once I get all 15 cut, I then grind all the ends, clean them all up, get them ready to weld onto these vertical risers. I'm using a Makita grinder. Once I get them all grinded, I then get out my welder and proceed to weld these things on. Now I'm going to start up off the ground about 10 inches for the first shelf so that I can still clean underneath this rack really easy. And then I'm going to space them apart 16 inches. So that'll be 5 shelves with 16-inch spreads. I mark where I'm going to weld them and then grind off the metal. Get my welding jacket on, put some gloves on, get my welding helmet, and I'm using a magnet right here actually to see that little red magnet that holds them square, and that works a lot easier. And then I just spread them apart 16 inches on center and weld them up. I weld all 4 sides of this 1-inch square tubing. That way it could hold a heavy load, and it's 1/8 inch thick. This welder is a Hobart welder, and I've been really happy with it. I would like to say thank you to everybody that subscribed to my channel. It's been a year, and I did finally hit 1,000. So that'll be interesting to see what happens with YouTube. I guess after 1,000 you can monetize your channel or something like that. We'll see how that goes. I just have fun doing it, so it doesn't really matter, but it is kind of interesting. Once I get them all welded, it was time to clean them off and primer and paint them. First I deburr all these welds, just kind of clean them up. I don't grind them all the way off, they're not that bad. I just kind of clean off any burrs. Get them set up to paint. Now I'm going to use mineral spirits to clean these off, but it doesn't work as good as denatured alcohol works a little better. But I did clean all these off with mineral spirits, but it leaves a residue, and I had to really wipe that off. But it did clean it. Once I get them all cleaned, it was time to primer them. I let them dry for a little bit first, and then started spraying this primer. And this is a fast drying primer that actually you can sand if you want to. I didn't bother sanding it. This thing's just for holding wood, so it doesn't need to be super perfect. But I do primer the whole thing. This is going to be really nice. I'm going to purchase a whole bunch of wood this week and stock up for winter. Once I get it all primered, I paint it black. And this is just this primer, or this black paint, is a primer and paint together. I didn't know that when I saw the can, but it worked okay. These are both Rust-Oleum products. Once I get it all painted black, I take it down in my shop, and this is one of the cheapest drill presses on Amazon. It's a Win drill press. And actually, it doesn't work too bad for the price I paid for it. I need to get a bigger one, but right now I have this one, so I'm going to drill holes. I need to drill 3/8 holes, and turned out I couldn't flip this over and drill the other side. So, but I was able to drill all the tops, and with this drill press, that made it a little easier. I put 5 3/8 holes in each one of these. Right here I'm actually putting a pilot hole in first. I ended up using 3 drill bits, like an 1/8 inch drill bit, a 1/4 inch drill bit, and then a 3/8 drill bit. It's 1/8 inch thick metal, so it is pretty sturdy metal. I'm really looking forward to working in my shop this winter. I still got a few more days outside working on my rock wall, but I'm going to definitely get prepared for winter. Right here I get my Makita drill out, and I drill the opposite side. Once I get them all drilled, I take them over, and with my magnet I check where the studs are, and then I make sure that they're level, and I put these lag screws. These are 3/8 by 3.5 inch lag screws, and they should hold it really nicely. I'm spreading them apart 32 inches, and that should be more than adequate to hold all this wood that I'm going to put on here. Of course, I won't be able to show you too much wood because I only have I got about 3 pieces of maple and about 3 pieces of poplar and some pine, but I am planning on loading this thing up this week, so we'll see how it goes. There's the first 2 pieces. You can see that this rack's going to hold a lot, and it doesn't really interfere too much with the hallway. Thanks for watching Outlaw Woodworking. Please subscribe, like the video, and I will see you next time. Later.